Maya found her first gray hair this week, and every single cell in her body still carries the exact same DNA she was born with. It's not one machine breaking. Biologists count about a dozen, but 6 carry the clearest evidence, and we'll walk those 6. They look independent. They're not. Some of these we can already slow today, with real interventions that exist right now. Others remain locked. Stick around, and by the end, you'll know exactly which is which. Maya's cells have been quietly counting down since before she was born, each division burning through a tiny reserve, with a hard limit nobody told her about. Think of the plastic cap on a shoelace. Each chromosome comes with the same thing, called a telomere. And every time a cell copies itself, that cap gets clipped a tiny bit shorter, permanently. 50 splits, and the chromosome's buffer is gone. And that's just the first of the 6. But here's the part that makes no sense. What aged Maya's hair didn't die. It just locked up instead. A 2016 Mayo Clinic experiment cleared just a fraction of the zombies from aging mice, and they lived 35% longer. 2 failures down, 4 to go. And the next one isn't about running out. It turns toxic instead. Here's what makes failure 3 unlike the first 2. Your own fuel factories aren't running short. They're turning toxic. That creates a death spiral. More free radicals damage more mitochondria, which leak more, which make more radicals. Net output drops while the wreckage compounds. 3 failures in, and not one has touched Maya's DNA sequence, which is exactly what makes the next one the most disorienting of all. At 34, Maya still carries a genome without a single corrupted letter, and failure 4 is the strangest yet. With age, those flags wander. Wrong genes switch on, right ones go quiet. A perfect score producing garbled notes. The score slips long before symptoms, and when instructions are lost, something starts building up the cell can't clear. When a protein folds wrong, it doesn't just sit quietly. It grabs a healthy neighbor and pulls it crooked too. Maya is 34. Right around when that cleanup rate falls, proteins that should be flagged and destroyed start slipping through instead. 5 hallmarks down, and not a single base pair altered. But the 6th failure doesn't corrupt the code. It just stops replacing what breaks. Failure 6 is the only one where the machinery keeps working fine. The factory just runs out of raw materials. Micro tears in muscle that once healed in a week start lingering, and gut lining that replaced itself every few days regenerates more slowly. No therapy yet refills the tank at scale, and that gap is what makes the next discovery so much stranger. Here's what Scene 1 didn't tell you. These 6 were never 6 separate clocks. Worn telomeres breed zombie cells. Zombies inflame the neighbors. That wrecks the power plants. Failing power scrambles the epigenome. Pull one thread, and the rest race. So the real question isn't which clock. It's whether one switch sits upstream of them all. The strangest twist of all is this. Sinclair's lab broke 20 spots in young mouse chromosomes, repaired all 20 without changing the code, and those mice were gray, hunched, and biologically twice their age within a year. The molecular machinery stitched the sequence back exactly right. But like a factory that fixes hardware without restoring the settings file, the epigenetic configuration around those breaks scattered and never came back. So, the sequence was never the story. The settings were. But there's a creature built on nearly the same biology that barely loses its settings at all, and that gap has no clean answer yet. A lab mouse and a naked mole rat share identical hardware. One dies before year 3, the other clocks past 30. 40 years of tracking these colonies, and the mole rat's senescence curve barely twitches. That's active suppression, not luck. If those settings can differ between species, the real question is whether any of them can be changed within one. 3 hallmarks have clinical proof in humans. Senolytics cuts the zombie burden. Exercise rebuilds power. Caloric restriction moves the clock. Of the 6, 3 already bend. Telomere loss and stem depletion stay locked, and the epigenome is the frontier. Subscribe to Marker and Mind for the hidden mechanics behind everyday things.